Look, brother, a fortune.
True fortune will be the demise of Kenobi. Credit chips are meaningless without a plan to survive. The Jedi are hunting us.
We will be forced to make a stand.
And we will deal with them.
They are too many. To continue, we need one singular vision. My vision.
Brother, let us share our strength. There is no need for dominance between us.
Always two there are, my brother. A master and an apprentice. And you are the apprentice. So, it is time for a lesson.
Welcome, Masters and Padawans, to episode 600 Full of Sith. I am Bryan Young, and with me are my co-hosts, Mike Pilot, and the glorious, illustrious, something else, Holly Frey. Welcome to the show, guys.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You're not
Mike.
Bryan.
How you doing? Oh no, I'm the Mike Pilot. You're Bryan Young. Confusions. Sorry, my bad. How's everybody doing on this episode 600?
Listen, we have the Mike Pilot, so pretty darn good, frankly.
Yeah, I thought we'd started off with a little Holly laugh. I missed those, so missed both you guys.
Yeah, no, it's been too long since you've been on the show, but then with 600 episodes, it's been too long since we've been doing the show.
Yeah, I was thinking when I was putting the show together, I think it was a week or two ago, I saw 600 was coming, and I was like, well, I wonder if they're going to do an episode. Maybe I'll say something, but maybe they have some more. And by the way, the conversations at the cons recently have been really, really great. I've been enjoying the shows. But you've been doing such a great job. I figured when I start the show, I'll say I'm Bryan Young, then we don't break the Bryan Young opening streak. We still got it covered. And what's on all your guys' lives happenings right now?
I just traveling a lot. I've been on the road a lot. I think Holly has been too.
Yeah. It never ends.
It's been convention season.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot. So it's actually been kind of nice having the episodes that we recorded at Atlanta Comic-Con because I've been on the road literally the entire time since that show. I was at a con I don't know where I've been since then. I know I just got back from Houston last week, which was really fun. I was a guest of honor at a show there, and I ran a Star Wars role-playing game for folks that I was really
cool.
I was really like terrified about because it was the old West End D6 game. And when the convention organizer asked me, the BattleTech folks from the Houston area had approached them about me being a guest, and the convention organizer called me up and said, "Hey, we'd really love you to be a guest, but we'd also really love you to run some games." And I was like, "Okay, I can play some BattleTech, no problem." And he's like, "No, we'd love for you to run a role-playing game." And I was like, "Well, I haven't run any BattleTech role-playing games, so I mean, I guess I could figure that." He's like, "No, like what game would you want to run?" And I was like, well, the game I've run the most is the Star Wars D6 game, but that's just from being, existing as a Star Wars nerd. And he's like, well, you've got tons of Star Wars on your resume, run that. And I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, like we love the old school stuff here. So I wrote a Star Wars one shot, and it was I played it twice with two different groups of people, and it was some of the most fun I've had at a con ever. I would love to run it at more cons if people wanted me to. It was really fun, and I kind of went overboard. Like, in that game, you get like force points you can use, so you can like double your dice or like do something really cool with a force point to kind of like represent, like in Star Wars, you being like an ultra hero or the force like influencing things. So I printed out like kyber crystals for everybody to represent their
Oh,
force point that they could keep.
nice.
And I bought dice for everybody so that they could keep their dice. And
Oh, nice.
Patty and I made like little dice bags with rebel symbols on them that everybody could keep. So they had their dice and their
Oh,
kyber crystal in their little dice bags. And I made characters for everybody, and I wrote backstories for every character, and the adventure was really fun. And um, it was absurd. I don't want to say too much about it because there is like also like a social deduction element. Like the story is that one of the characters is an Imperial traitor. Um, like everybody's a rebel, but like one of them might be a traitor. And oh, it was so fun with everybody trying to like escape the Empire, but also figure out which one of them was the traitor. It was really good.
how many people were playing at once?
It was a six-player game plus me.
Oh, nice.
So
Um,
fun.
yeah, no, it was great. It was
I
great.
feel compelled to confess that when you said I made everybody and your next word was, I think, character sheets, I don't know why my brain thought you were going to say carrot cake and I got really excited.
Um,
I'm sure even with the lack of carrot cake, everybody had a great
Now I'm
time.
just going to be so
yeah,
outraged anytime you show up without carrot cake because some part of my brain thinks that's what you do.
yeah, no, that would be, I mean, that would be above and beyond even where I was. Um, yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, but that it was also really stressful because it was more prep for a con than I usually have to do. And especially since I did way more prep for it than maybe I needed to, especially since I wrote like a page long character background for everybody and a character sheet and all of the stuff.
You
And
should
an
take it
opening
on a
crawl.
tour around the cons. You should take it and play with different people all over the country.
I mean, I would if the cons would want me to, but
You never
um
know unless you
that
ask. Say, hey, cons, every con.
yeah, no, that D6 game is really fun though. I really like that old role-playing game. It's fun. And
Well, you
playing
had a good
Star
time,
Wars
and
is
everybody
always
else did
fun.
too.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you did all the things like the dice bags, and that's nice. No carrot cake, but
Yeah, no, I mean
Can't have everything.
yeah.
next time I'll have to bring the carrot cake.
Uh, gotta leave them one and more. That's what I always
Yeah.
heard.
There you go.
So I'll bring half a carrot cake.
Keep them coming back in the hopes that there will be carrot cake.
I
Yeah.
was led to believe there was carrot cake, but all there was a dice bag. Yeah, no, I think I'll still stay. That's good times.
Yeah.
But to answer your question from before, Holly, I'm sorry if I blew it off, but yes, I got some tattoos done recently. So 2 weeks ago, I was going to get them both done 2 weeks ago. I was going to get Maul on one hand and Savage Press on the other hand. And I took my dad with me because he had to get a couple things done, the last two grandkid names done on his chest.
Nice.
So we kind of ran out of time to do both. So I knew we were taking Anya back to Westchester, which is where Alex's tattoo shop is, local colored tattoo in Westchester, Pennsylvania, on Route 3. Yeah, we were going to be down there anyway, so I said, "Well, I'm coming back in 2 weeks. Can we finish it up?" And he's like, "Sure." So now they're both done, and I think they look pretty. I
They
like
look
them.
beautiful. I have questions
Yeah.
because hands seem super hurty. How painful was it on a scale of 1 to 10?
All right. So my right hand, which I don't know if this has anything to do with it, my right hand didn't bother me all that much. Um, Up near the wrist bone, down near the knuckles, it stung a little bit, but overall it wasn't bad. But my hand puffed up really bad. It got really swollen for a couple days. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have knuckles anymore when I looked at my hand, which is more like me when I weighed a lot. And then I lost all that weight and then I had knuckles again. So then my hand poofed up. But now, it was only a couple days. Now my left hand, the outline was fine and most of it was fine, but it got to a point where it was just getting sore. Like even when him just wiping it while he was doing it, it was just
Spicy.
really
Yeah.
sore. So
Um, I find that I'm going to say this wrong. The right side of my body is more painful than the left, which is apparently not uncommon for one side to be more sensitive than the other.
is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I never knew that. Like
Yeah,
you're
when
learning
I get
things.
stuff done on my left arm, it's usually easy peasy. On my right arm, super hurty. Same thing. Left leg, usually okay. Right leg, I'm gonna kick. Like, there's no.
Yeah, no, it's not like on the inside of the elbow. I mean, I still think that that's probably the worst, or the inside of your upper arm. That was pretty much the worst,
Those are
thinking
spicy
back.
areas,
But
yes.
no, it's like right now it doesn't hurt at all. It's fine. But I was ready to be done. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
I was ready to be done. But they look good,
they're
and
beautiful.
now they're done. And if I would here, let's say this. I wanted to get these done for years and years and years, but because of your question, I wondered how bad it was on the hands.
Uh-huh.
If I would have known it felt like this, I probably would have done it a couple years ago. Now, hindsight's 2020, but we got the "I love you, I know" tattoos back on Star Wars Day, me and Ariana.
Love
And so
it.
I got the outside of the hand done, and that didn't hurt at all. So I'm like, ooh, I'll give it a try. So yeah, so I'm really thankful. I love Alex's artwork. I love the way he's done the majority of my tattoos. It's always good Star Wars discussions the whole time we're there. Like, it was an afternoon of timelines of where Maul falls in between.
Oh,
How old
heaven.
is actually, that's a good question. We were talking about this yesterday. So how old is Luke in the Twin Sons episode?
So he's the same age as Ezra.
What's that, like 14?
Somewhere
Um,
in there.
in that range. However old Ezra is, he's the exact same age. So
Okay,
they were born like the same week, possibly even the same day.
Yeah.
really?
Empire
Yeah.
Day.
Because when you're talking about long timelines and you're having a long conversation, I'm like, well, no, it has to be closer to when Luke goes to Kenobi. So are you saying that he killed Maul and then he fights Darth Vader a couple days later? Now that doesn't make sense. But was Luke little? No, Luke was little. Was he a mid-teenage? Like, so we were getting lost on that whole thing. So I'm glad I
So
asked. So
Rebels is really easy to track the age of the twins because they are the same age as Ezra.
okay, that's good to know. Mark
Um,
that down.
yeah, that's because Ezra talks about having been born on Empire Day, so he doesn't know anything in the galaxy before then. And you remember the twins being born,
As all that was going down.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just she goes from Palpatine declaring the Empire to confronting Anakin and delivering the twins, so they're born on Empire Day essentially as well. Um, and so yeah, like they've got pretty much the same birthday.
Okay. Yeah, I thought, because I was like thinking, like, that seems like a lot in a little bit of time, because we're talking about the end of like Rogue One going right into the beginning of Episode 4, which is like, so yeah, there with all the content, I got to be honest, it's kind of hard when you're sitting down talking to somebody and they're like, okay, well, where does this fall in the timeline? And you're like, okay, well, all right, so Ahsoka was this age with this, so yeah. Thank you, Brian. You are
Compounded with the
a
fact that you're also getting stabbed over and over with needles while you have the conversation.
yeah, maybe that doesn't help either. But we were watching the Fulcrum cut, that 4 hour cut of Revenge of the Sith with all the like the Battle of Mandalore, all the Clone Wars stuff stitched into it while we were
Nice.
doing this. So that was a good time. I think I sent you the picture, Holly. When I went to go get the mall one done, I did have on my dress that you made me for celebration. I did wear
You
that
did. It
that
made
day.
me smile so big. So
I
big.
walked in and everybody looked at me. I'm like, listen, if I'm getting these tattoos, what other time can I wear this? So
And you were probably very comfy the whole time.
oh my God, it was really hot that day, and it's very flowing, and you get a lot of airflow, and it's nice and loose. Yes, I recommend it to all.
Um, so I don't think you've been on since news of Maul Shadow Lord came out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was trying to think back. It's been at least a year since I think I've appeared. And am I excited? Yes, we were having a lot of conversations about that yesterday too. And then I almost got excited. I saw some fan thing pop up on Instagram Reels that I thought was like the real trailer, and I got all excited. I'm like, no, this doesn't look right. But what's some information that you can share with me?
Well, they haven't released it publicly, but at Star Wars Celebration in Japan, they had a trailer that Holly and I both saw,
Yeah.
and it looks incredible, but it looks like it's set between the end of Clone Wars, where we saw Maul take off as Ahsoka and Rex were crashing in that ship uh, toward that unidentified moon with the rest of the 501st. Um, it's set between there and where we pick him up in Solo. So he's going to be building up his criminal empire in Crimson Dawn.
Mhm.
And it's got this cool, like, film grain look that looks like, 70s sort of, it had this 70s sort of Scorsese kind of crime vibe to it.
Ooh.
But it looked like he was picking up a red-skinned Twi'lek apprentice um, that had the Darth Talon vibe
Yeah.
direction. But it had the Clone Wars animation look, and it looked very, very Maul, and it looked like they were just carrying his story and his timeline forward, that we weren't done with this character. Um, and it comes out next year. I mean, that's
Yeah.
really all that's there's not a whole lot more, I don't think, out there about
Mm,
it.
no, not at all.
Well, that's why I was asking. I guess another question before I forget to ask this too. This was another one I didn't have an exact answer for Alex yesterday. So in the Solo movie, when we see Darth Maul, he kind of still has the metal legs in that scene. So when does he get the better legs? Is that after the whole Solo thing? Is that later, or does he just have those metal legs and they look different in those two cartoons? Because like when he gets found, he has the spider legs, and then the Mandalorians, they give him those legs to get him up and about. But then later on in one of the series, he has different, like, not normal legs, but not just mechanical legs.
Right. There's the whole Dathomiri visit of restoration, right?
Hmm. And so where does that happen? That happens after Solo, then, like
No,
in the
no, no, no,
time.
no. The Death of Miri stuff happens during the Clone Wars. And in
Mm,
Rebels, he has more normal legs, but Rebels happens way after Solo. So
yeah.
there's plenty of stuff that can happen with his legs, especially since Mother Talzin's out of the equation between Clone Wars and Rebels.
Thank you
And
very much.
it makes me wonder if Kira has anything to do with him getting stranded on Malachor.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like Kira's just like, we got to do something about this guy.
I mean, we know you
We got to
cannot
get him
trust
out of here.
Kira, right?
Yeah. Like, how can we entice him to make him think it's his idea to get stranded somewhere? And because it seems like when Ezra catches up with him on Malachor, that he's been stranded there for quite a while.
He's like Granddad Maul. He's like an old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like Kira, when Crimson Dawn like goes away, they've gone underground for a while, and it makes me wonder if, like, as soon as she realizes he's back in the universe, like they go underground, and it's not
Yeah.
until they really realize he's dead that they come back out, because she knows he will just,
Obliterate her.
yeah.
And that's summer of 26.
We don't have a
It's
release date. It's
26,
just
but we don't have
26.
anything in terms of time of year.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. It's
It
exciting news.
is.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a lot to look forward to in 26 because we've got that. Well, we've got later this year. We've got a couple months. Just in October, we've got Visions season 3.
Yeah.
But then in 26, we've got Mandalorian and Grogu,
Yeah.
which
Which
is
means
gonna,
new park things.
yeah, they're gonna change up Smuggler's
Smuggler's
Run,
Run. Yeah.
which I just read an article saying that they're gonna make the engineer more exciting.
I mean, I love the engineer role. Is that like a total clown action? I love the engineer.
No,
I
but
like fixing stuff.
it's funny because I feel like I imagine in my head when you're like, I love the engineer, and I had this thought in my head that you love the engineer because you could do it with one hand and have a cocktail in the other.
They won't let me board with a
I
cocktail.
know they
I've
wouldn't I
tried.
know they wouldn't let you board with a cocktail, but like in my head, it's just like, yeah, I love the engineer because you could do it with a
I
cocktail.
could Dean Martin this thing.
Yeah. Like all
Um,
the others are a lot more intensive, but the engineer, yeah, you could Dean Martin that thing.
yeah. No, I just love the engineer. I like fixing stuff. It's kind of like, do you remember on Star Cruiser when you would do bridge training and you had to do like the operations panels?
Yeah.
And there was the one that was like the fix it panel.
Hmm.
My favorite. I loved it. I love like the puzzly, fix it, figure it out, make it better thing. It's low stakes. You're making order out of chaos. It's great.
Well, they said they're making it more exciting and more fun and more consequential with the new Mando Grogu overlay for the ride.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's going to be interesting. Is it an overlay like Nightmare Before Christmas, or is it a permanent thing?
I don't know. I mean, my rich fantasy life is that they figure out a way to run both concurrently, both the storyline as it exists now with Hondo and that one, because it's two big platters
Yeah.
of pods, like where the guests go and they're in the Falcon cockpit. So they could conceivably do that. I don't know.
Well, I wonder how they would do the intro with Hondo and make it relevant to both versions of the ride.
Yeah, if they need to split it somehow super creatively. I don't know if that's possible or not, but I just want more of everything. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I finally saw those darn droids.
The BD units.
Yeah, I have been chasing them forever because the first time I was supposed to see them was when they were first out in Disneyland. And that was when I had my little surprise gallbladder surgery. So I had to cancel that trip. And then there was another time they were somewhere and I missed them. And now they're in Orlando, but only until the end of the month. So I did a day trip on Friday and I had one of the best lightsaber builds of my life. But I got out of that and I ran over and the droids were out and I saw them for 30 seconds before it started to rain and they tarped them and took them away. So I got very little droid time. I seem a little hexed regarding the BD droids.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit is better than nothing.
That's true.
Have you made it to Galaxy's Edge yet, Mike?
No, no, I haven't. I don't think I've made it out of Pennsylvania since the pandemic, to be honest with you.
When are you gonna go to Galaxy's Edge?
I don't know because now I got to go to California next year. So,
What are you doing in California next year?
well, celebrations in Los
Oh,
Angeles.
right. No,
Not
it's
till
not next year.
2027.
It's in
Oh, it's
2027.
2027.
Well, guess what they have in California?
They do have one there too. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were talking about it, and we're gonna go. We're gonna go to this upcoming
That was
celebration.
that was one of my favorite things when that last celebration, when celebration was in Anaheim, and Amy and I got to take you on Star Tours for the first time.
Oh, it was so fun. It was such a big trip. I realized that was my first time I realized how big California was. We landed, me and you, we got the rental car and we were going to Amy's house and it seemed to take like 3 years to get to her house. Those roads. But no,
LA is tricky for sure.
yeah, it was the first time we were on that. It was a really good time and it was just a great trip. The one in Florida's, I don't know. Florida's just too hot and sticky for me. The Florida trip was fun. We got to stay with your family, and that was a good time too. But the California trip, we really had a good time out there, and I thought that it'd be a really great time to go out there, spend the 4 or 5 days out there, and then maybe take 3 or 4 and go up to San Francisco and do some indoor walking and things like that. Take Anya out. I want to get her out there before. I said before she graduated college, so that would fall within that time frame because she only went back for her sophomore year yesterday. So we got some time.
Yeah,
That'd be a good senior trip.
yeah. But
So
you
I'm
have
looking
to
forward to it.
you got to make it to Galaxy's Edge. Rise of the Resistance is going to blow your mind, Mike.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. It's just you guys are travelers. These are weary travelers on the road, getting out there and experiencing life. Whereas I live vicariously through your eyes and your
Yeah,
experiences.
at the point where you're in California anyway, you just gotta.
Well, then that's a whole different story. I can't just take a day trip like Holly and go down to Orlando.
I mean, you could.
Oh, I'm not going to. I could. You're right. I'm not going to.
I was just telling Bryan before we started that my Bryan, I do it pretty frequently, and sometimes I go down because I have to meet with people for stuff. But my Bryan had told me after the last time we went, like, I can't do this. It's so tiring. I can't do another day trip. And then just not that long ago, a few days back, I was like, I have been so crabby, and I am like, the world is so stressful that I feel like I'm just like emotionally fragile all the time. And I was like, I just need a Ronto wrap. So I'm going on Friday. Do you want to come? And he was like, yeah. And then as we're like in the airport in Orlando getting ready to board, he's like, I don't think I can do this again. And I'm like, okay, till the next time you miss it. And I'm
The
going.
man after my own heart. I just, you you think about it, you're like, oh, this would be a great idea, and then you're in it, and you're like, I'm exhausted. I don't know if I could do this again. Never again. I said the same thing about the tattoos, but here we are. Here I
Oh,
am healing again.
it's so fun. I always have a great time. I don't care that I'm exhausted at the end of it because I have my Ronto wrap in my tummy and I'm happy and
How many lightsaber builds have you done now, Holly?
I don't know. And I wasn't going to do one this time. I wasn't planning to. And then I found out that one of our favorite actors was going to be in the Kembe role. And so I booked one, and it was amazing because it was only me and one other person. It was like
Ooh.
early in the morning, and it's a quieter time in general, but having like that level where you have, when you build a lightsaber, you have like a gatherer, which is one of the Kembe's like assistants that works in Savi's that usually is helping like 3 or 4 people at a time. But I had my own gatherer all to myself who helped me through my whole build, and it just made it super special and amazing. And
And
it was perfect.
so, like, Mike, when you go, you're gonna have to do that because, like,
It's so good.
because you have no idea what is in store for you. Like,
No, I have no idea.
oh man, like
I
But
always
first
tell
time.
people because they're like, I like the lightsaber, but the droid is cheaper. And I'm like, I love droids, but I'm like, yes, but the lightsaber build is an experience unlike anything
The
else.
first time yeah, the first time I built a lights, I've only built one for myself, and then I took when Anakin was out, we took him for I want to say when we were out there the last time for something, we were there for his birthday, and I don't remember which birthday it was, but we bought him for his birthday the lightsaber experience, and like both times I've been in there, it moved me to tears.
Oh, yeah.
It's that kind of experience.
oh, I'm sure it's beyond my wildest dreams and expectations, and I do look forward to it happening. But could I make one for myself and then make one into a flask for Holly to take onto the bridge when she goes under her thing that she's gonna take a cocktail with?
If
Is that
Holly doesn't
possible?
have a Star Wars flask, I would be surprised. Like already.
Well, not just a Star Wars
I'm
flask, but one that fits in that you wouldn't expect it to be a
Oh, like a
flask.
Well, but
lightsaber
I
hilt
also,
flask.
Yes.
I don't want to be that person. I wouldn't be want to be that person that, is always trying to flout the rules and like knowing my luck, I would get caught and then I would get banned from the park and then I would never stop
Oh,
crying.
they'd make you the queen of the park. They'd be like, Holly, you are now
No.
our queen.
I
We bow to
wish.
thee.
I wish, but that's the other thing with that is that it gets harder in California because California, Disneyland is a
Dry park.
mostly no alcohol park. Yeah, like you can get
Yeah.
drinks in Oga's, but you can't leave with a drink from Oga's. Whereas in
Yeah, you got
Orlando, they'll make you a roadie to walk out with. And now they do, I think we've talked about it on the show before, like a walk-up line for Oga's, where
Well,
there's like one station at the bar where they'll let like 2 people in at a time and you just get a to-go drink there. In addition to all the other places you can get drinks in Galaxy's
well,
that was
and
Edge.
kind of
now,
the reason why we spent more time in California Adventure and not Disneyland because they had margaritas at California Adventure.
Yeah.
well, the other
It was a
thing
hot
about
day.
Oga's now at Disneyland is there's no reservations anymore.
Yeah, which I'm curious. You may or may not know the answer to this, Brian, because historically, unlike the way Orlando works, if you had a reservation for Oga's in Disneyland, that would almost guarantee you seating rather than one of the stand-up tables.
That's not, I mean, like every time I had a reservation, I always ended up at a stand-up table anyway.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
I did not.
well, they know your name.
I don't think they do. Not in
I don't think,
California for sure.
well,
Maybe in
I'm just
Orlando.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Um,
You know, your
I mean,
name all over the world, Holly.
some of the bartenders in Orlando know my name for sure, but yeah, I was just curious how that was gonna work. I will say, if you love a margarita, Mike,
I do.
They just, for the first time that I saw it, I don't know when it got announced, but I had not seen it pop up anywhere, and it was a surprise to me. They just started doing in Orlando Galaxy's Edge at Ronto Roasters, like a berry flavored margarita with a tahine rim,
Really?
which my Bryan quite liked. I didn't love
I was gonna
it.
say that sounds lovely.
I didn't love it just because I think it's a perfectly fine drink. I don't like the spiciness. I can't handle it. I'm a wuss. Um, but yeah, so that was brand new that I had not seen there before. So there are ever more. Listen, California gets more menu updates. I am not going to deny that, but we've started getting them in Orlando, and they're delightful.
So
All things to look forward to.
speaking of delightful, can I just really quickly talk about how delightful it is seeing how just delightful Tony Gilroy has been on his for your consideration Emmy tour,
Oh, it's so magical.
and how cool like the Andor magazine has been that they put out, and like all of the cool stuff they've been doing for the Emmys for like the Emmy consideration. Like it's obvious that they're like, oh no, this show was good, and they're actually putting money behind
I love it. Did you get one
trying to
of the
get them.
zines?
I did not.
Me either. I want one desperately.
Um, but yeah. And you actually you watched season two, Mike. I'm curious to see
I
what
did.
you thought.
So a lot of the programs. I'm not gonna say Ariana doesn't dislike any of it, but she's not like into it. But the thing she was looking for the most was Andor coming back. So we kind of just recently I've been waiting to watch certain things with Anya, but we just did not wait for Anya. Ariana was so into it. I I really loved how the season went. I liked how it wrapped up. I can't get over how much better, and we know that I like Rogue One, how much better and how much more intensely entertaining Rogue One was because I we watched it immediately after finishing the season two of Andor. Did you guys watch it afterwards, or
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
did you and what did you
You
guys
know,
think?
the thing about Rogue One now after Andor is that like I almost feel like it's too short. Like I watch Rogue One and I'm like, wow, they're rushing through this. Like
Yeah.
I want the 5 hour cut of Rogue One now.
I kind
Yeah.
of, you know what? Now that you mention it, I kind of had a similar experience. It got to the point where K2SO is getting shot up in the records room, and I'm like, are we at this far into the movie already? That quick? But I
Yeah.
thought I
Like
was just
not that I
definitely
dislike
into
it.
it.
I love it, and it makes it hit so much harder, and it's so much more interesting, and there's so much more depth to all of it. But like I could have I could have stood to have another hour on that movie, and um yeah, no, it made season 2, Andor season 2 were so careful about taking their time with everything, and Rogue One is such a breakneck pace that it almost feels like yeah, it almost moves too quick
So
now.
that's one of the advantages of being able to have the series is you
Yeah.
get way more content and way more story out of one, you know,
Yeah.
season. Or I really uh what's her name? I can't think of her last name. Is it Go? Denise
Oh,
who
Denise,
Denise
plays
Gow. Yeah.
Deirdre.
She's
She looks
amazing.
so unhappy and so miserable, but I can't take my eyes off her. She's so interesting. And the cat and mouse and the secrecy and all the things in the background and a lot of things that happened that I didn't even see coming. It was it deserves, okay, so well, a Star Wars show shouldn't be getting any kind of nominate. No, it really the cast, the scenery, the graphics, like everything was spectacular in that. And I, like I said, I think it just made Rogue One even that much more intense and amazing watching it. Because like I said, as soon as it ended, I said, "Well, it is 11:30 and we got work tomorrow, but we're gonna power through this." We're fine. What was your favorite part of it, Holly? I'll ask Holly first.
Oh. Oh, this is very tricky. Listen, I love gorlectopods.
Mm.
I know that's a weird thing to pick out. I love Edie Carn desperately. She's horrible and I love her. Um, I love all of it. It's such a like incredible gut punch over and over. It's like going back for another stab in the gut, but man, it's incredible. The costumes are spectacularly beautiful. I
Yes.
can't deal with the costumes. I mean, I love them so much. Um I don't know what my favorite thing is. There's too many my
It's
favorite
no,
things.
no, you had a lot of good ones there.
All the gore, everything gore, I'm into it. I want to go to Gorman. I want to drink in their cafes.
Like the massacre itself, like the build up in the massacre itself was amazing, but then also the response, like that whole episode where Cassian's getting Mon Mothma out was perfect.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. And then going back and actually rewatching that episode of Rebels where you see the other side of it and the handoff where they talk about Cassian having to turn her over to Gold Squadron so they can change the official story, and then Gold Squadron handing her off to Phoenix Squadron to get her to
Hmm.
Yavin, where it's like, I don't know. I really love the interconnectedness of everything and how carefully they paid attention to everything and just I don't know. Mon Mothma, you never expected watching Return of the Jedi that Mon Mothma is going to be one of the most badass, cool characters ever.
Yeah. Well,
I
it's like
also like that they like the personal things, the behind the scenes of the marriages and the relationships, and I really like to see stuff like that too.
yeah, I really loved the surprising denouement of discovering that this whole series has been about Cassian. It's named for him, but it's also about the parallel story of another person who had a very similar wartime orphan experience who instead, Clea's arc takes such a different path because she got rescued, I'm putting air quotes on that, by Luthen instead of Marva Andor. You know what I mean? It's like the different ways their paths diverge from a very similar point, and then her becoming such an important key figure in the establishment of the rebellion in the denouement of the season. Incredible.
What is that word, Holly? I'm not familiar with it.
Denouement?
Yeah, I'm
It's how
not
things
from
wrap
New
up and come
Orleans.
together at the end.
Is it a typical word I would have heard somewhere before, or did it elude me this whole time? I'm not making fun. I'm serious. I never heard it before.
It's something used a lot in I use it a lot in my writing classes. It's something we use in story structure that's the last part after the climax. The denouement is sort of the wrap up, the closure, the epilogue, that sort of thing.
Okay, just wanted to know what we were saying or understand what you were saying.
Really, it's just because I'm pretentious and I like to use French words all the
I was
time.
not. I was not saying that. That was not. I was saying that I'm dumb and I don't know a lot of
No,
big
you're
words.
not in the league.
No. Can I bring up another thing since we didn't talk in a while
Yeah.
about Star
Yes.
Wars stuff? So I we were watching a show on HBO, an old show, Rome. Are you familiar with that show?
Yes.
So I didn't know that that big Roman soldier was Balin from the Ahsoka show,
Yeah.
Ray Stevenson, and that was now that makes it even sadder because I really, really, really liked his character in both things. But the more we watched Rome, the more he became like my favorite character. And then I'm like, well, I got to find some more things with this guy in it. And then I got so bummed when I'm like, oh, that was the guy from Ahsoka. It's a bummer.
He was
Yeah.
also my favorite of the Warriors 3 and the Thor movies.
Yes, he was in the Thor movies too. I do remember. I do know that. And he was like in. I've seen him in other things. Like, I think he was like in the Kill the Irishman movie, um,
He was
the
on Rebels
Vikings TV
too.
series. What was he in Rebels? Gar Saxon or something? No, that was in Clone Wars, right? He was
Um,
in Clone Wars.
oh, maybe it was Clone Wars. He was one of the Mandalorians. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So that was So I just wanted to pay homage to Ray Stevenson because he was fantastic in both shows, and that's a bummer.
Yeah.
We haven't talked Skeleton Crew with you either, though. Skeleton Crew was I just really love
Like a
that show.
breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So what I liked the most about Skeleton Crew was being able to follow with the kids, and it was kind of like, do you remember that movie, um, River Phoenix and Ethan Hawke? It was called the Explorers. They like have a dream about how to make a spaceship, and they go up into space and they meet the aliens, and it kind of falls apart after they meet the aliens. But it's a really, really good like mid-80s kind of young kid adventure movie. Like I said, I don't know if you are familiar with it, but it kind of reminded me of like that with all the kids. And um, I wanted to like Jude Law, but I didn't like him by
Everybody
the end.
everybody
Everybody
wanted
wanted to like Jude Law. That's like the brilliance of that casting. The Explorers is a it's just called Explorers. I want to put a V on it, but that's actually an interesting film because it's like a Joe Dante movie that didn't get a whole lot of attention when it came out. So I love that you brought that one up just because
Oh,
it's an
I've never
interesting
even
callback.
heard of it.
oh, I've watched it a million times. Like I said, it kind of falls apart towards the end, but just the idea, like when you were young, like when I was a little kid and I watched it, like this was, I found that, it's like, what was that, 85 that came out, maybe?
Yep,
So it was,
exactly 85.
yeah. So it was a couple years after Jedi, and like I'm like, at that point in my life, I'm all into space and NASA and Star Wars and all those things. And somebody gave my parents the VHS of it. Boy, did I wear that VHS out over and over and over again. And then when Anya was younger, I showed it to her, and what, it held up. It held up. So if anybody hasn't seen Explorers, Holly's right. It doesn't have a D on the beginning of it. I recommend you go check it out, because just the idea of how they come up, how they build the ship, and how they use a computer to make a force field. And it's a really interesting movie, especially for its time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely written in that time frame when kind of thanks in large part to, Steven Spielberg, we were in that era where it was really popular for kids films to feature kids being smart and solving problems, and it's very
Yeah,
much in that vein. It's really fun.
yeah, I recommend. Bryan, let us know when you see it, what you think of it.
Yeah, no, I'll check it out. I'm always looking for movies I've never heard of to watch. Um,
I also did like Nick Frost's voicing in Skeleton Crew too.
Me too.
SM-33 was such a great character, and
Mhm.
he would not be complete without Snowball.
No. I love
Snowball was so good.
I love Snowball.
And
I don't know. The whole thing was good. I hope they get another season. I really do. I would just love to see those kids on another adventure. It doesn't
Yes.
have to do anything. It doesn't need to do anything else with those kids or whatever. I mean, not. I mean, with the pirates, I just want to see those kids on another adventure doing
Yeah.
something, and I would love to see Jod doing something else too.
As the
and
kids graduate from high school, Jod comes to them with a new challenge. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. I'm being very silly.
I don't know, but I just came up with another Rome Star Wars connection. Carrie Condon is the Caesar's sister in Rome, and she was Farah in Skeleton Crew. Just
Yeah.
another connection. Huh.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew. I love how like self-contained it is too, that it doesn't have to connect with everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea, that whole story point that Ad-Atten was protected from the rest of the galaxy, or cordoned off from it, was such a smart way to tell that story and make it its own unique little pocket of the galaxy that didn't have to like be governed by all of the other story that we already know. It was just
Mhm.
a brilliant move.
I just wish, even as a 50-year-old, I wish I could just go out on my bike and fall down into a creek bed and find a big ship that I could excavate and fly off into the galaxy.
No. Oh, the
And have a
dream.
droid. Just find a droid there with a weird little rat creature in its eye socket.
And Ariana really liked that one too. She she was saying the other day, she's like, what's we were at a family event, we were talking about something, and she's like, what's the kids Star Wars? The kids Star Wars. I'm like, the kids Star Wars, what are we talking about? And she's like, with the little kids. And then I was thinking of the
Young Jedi
cartoon one.
Adventures.
Yeah, and then Then she's like, no, no, would you? I'm like, oh, skeleton crew. Like I loved watching it. I haven't really thought about it much since, but really left its mark with her. But she likes that too. She likes the whole kids and adventure and wonder, and which they really wrote the wonder behind the whole thing with them growing up and them learning things and um thinking they could do things that they couldn't or things that they couldn't do that they could, like that whole coming to age and
Yeah.
the characters growing. Yeah, they did a really good job with it. But I wanted to like Jude Law so much and I just couldn't.
Well, every time you got to the point where it's like, okay, he is gonna help him. He's gonna turn, and then he'd turn back, or like he'd betray them worse, or
Yeah.
um he was just sort of slimy, and it's like, I don't know, I really liked how he played him too. And I really liked how many different names he had. Like it was just he could never just be himself. He was like the con man Peter Sellers of the Star Wars
Yeah.
universe.
He doesn't even remember who he originally was.
Yeah.
Which in and of itself is kind of sad, but he
Yeah.
was a hustler. He was working his way through the galaxy.
And yeah, no, I would really love to see more of Jodna Nawood in in Star Wars. And I really want to see more of those kids. Like I think that's the frustrating thing about all the cool Star Wars they're giving us is there's nothing they're giving us I don't want more of,
Yeah.
right? Like
Mhm.
I haven't seen anything that they're like, here, have some of this that I'm like, not more, please. Right? Like I want more Acolyte. I want more Mando. I'm getting Mando and Grogu though, but like I want more Skeleton Crew. I want more Andor. Like I'm not getting more of that though. I want more Clone Wars, but we're getting that with Maul. I want more Rebels, but we're getting that with Ahsoka, right? Like
Will there
um
be another season of Skeleton Crew, or is that just a
it was just
limited
a
series?
one-off. Like John Watts and his co-creator have said that they have an idea for another season if they decide to greenlight it, but that
But we haven't
they
heard anything about that.
and that they purposely designed it so that it doesn't have to like pick up where the last one left off because they've built their idea around the fact that they know the kids could age who knows how long between
Yeah, yeah.
this and when it got greenlit, if it got greenlit. You know, so and who knows, I don't know. There's just lots of cool Star Wars stuff and you know, we haven't even talked about Starfighters, which doesn't
Right?
seem as though, I mean, that's coming out in May 2027, which is right around the time of Celebration, right? Like the celebration's going to be a few weeks before Starfighters comes out,
It
Um,
right?
it's in the early part of April
Yeah.
is
So
celebration. So
it'll be
probably
like
like
2 months before.
yeah, like 7 weeks, something like
is
that.
that the one with like Ryan Gosling and Matt Smith?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That one, yeah. So that's 27. I see. I thought that was way down the line. That's good.
No, they're like getting ready to shoot or might already be shooting.
Yeah.
Like in fact, I'm assuming they're probably shooting or close to it at the point where casting announcements like that are coming out.
Yeah,
And it's a
it's
complete
usually
standalone, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Simon Kinberg is working on his trilogy.
Hmm.
And apparently Patty Jenkins is back working on Rogue Squadron.
So
Rogue
many
Squadron.
things.
Um, can I tell you about one of the funniest things? Like I've been hanging out with Mike Stackpole a lot lately. Because he's been at a lot of the same conventions I've been at, and we've been
Yeah.
hanging out a lot. Um, and you guys saw Superman, right?
No, but it's fine.
Yes, I did.
Well, this story doesn't really have anything to do with having seen Superman, but you are aware that there is an actor who plays him.
What?
I know,
I thought it
right?
was a kitten.
Um, David Corenswet, who plays Superman, apparently in a bunch of interviews, apparently he's a huge Star Wars nerd.
I love it.
and he name dropped Mike and his X-Wing books in a couple of interviews.
Aw,
And
sweet.
Mike has just been on cloud nine about it, and Mike made sure to go out and see it, Superman, and like even wore a Superman shirt to a couple of the cons.
So cute.
Um, and he's just absolutely like, it's hilarious how excited Mike is that Superman's a fan of his.
That's
Um,
awesome. That's a feel
uh,
good story right there.
It is. It's so
yeah,
sweet.
Mike's just absolutely delighted about it. Um, and if anybody has any way to contact David Cornsweet, uh, I would love to try to connect Mike somehow to get him. Like Mike is like, I was like, Mike, have you tried to reach out and like get him some signed books or something? He's like, I wouldn't even know how to begin to do that. So if anybody
I'll
has
see
any
what I can do.
ideas,
I'll see what I can do.
if anybody has any ideas, um, that would be fun and hilarious. Mike would just be a child again.
And precious.
Um, but
I had a
yeah,
hard
no,
time watching certain scenes in that Superman movie, seeing Nathan Fillion, and all I could imagine is when we had him stuck in the corner at Rogue One, and he was giving us those big green middle fingers all over the place.
oh yeah, that's right. That was funny.
Yeah,
I felt
the
bad
first thing
about
I thought
that.
about when I saw it.
At the Rogue One premiere, Holly, like Mike and I and Chris Taylor were all at the Rogue One
Chris,
premiere,
yeah,
and we all like as we went into the party, we just started nerding out, and we didn't realize that we had cornered Nathan Fillion as we were nerding out in front of one of the like food areas. So like he'd grabbed some hors d'oeuvres with his back turned and then turned around and found that he was cornered by the three of us just nerding out.
yeah.
And
See, we thought that we were out of the way, but apparently we weren't. We just were that little paying attention because we're
I
just
see.
talking
I'm
about
like, I
watching
don't
Rogue One.
understand how you corner him against a buffet and don't know, but now I understand.
We are a triumvirate of Star
just
Wars nerds not
yeah.
paying attention to our surroundings.
And he was very nice about it and
Oh,
stuff.
he was very
But
gracious.
now, yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, I could totally see him Green Lanterning us with great middle fingers. Um,
Or chicken
I don't remember.
fingers.
I don't remember exactly what your tweet was, but something about putting baby in a corner. Apparently, you can't put baby in a corner or Nathan Fillion in a corner. I forget what your tweet was, but it was funny.
yeah,
That's going back many years now. What was that? 2017? Is that when Rogue One came out?
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
almost 10 years. We've been doing
so
this
since
show.
we're well, I was going to say, so since we're talking about that, and this is episode 600, and that was just how many years ago? So 8 years ago, almost 10 years ago. How do you feel, Bryan? You've been the consistent factor in this show all through the years since day one when you came up with the idea of doing it. How do you feel about the run? How do you feel about where you've come, what you've done? Like you've been here the whole time. Give us some thoughts.
I don't know. It just feels like I tell people this, people ask about it, about the show and stuff, and the show is just me talking with my friends about Star Wars usually. And sometimes we get to talk to really cool people, or sometimes I'll be in situations where I get to talk to really cool people, or we get to do panels at conventions where, like Holly and I'll be on a panel and talk to, the Star Wars Explained folks and Jason Fry or whatever, like if you've been listening recently. And it's just like the show was always meant to just be an outlet to talk Star Wars with people I like, whether those are like people who worked on Star Wars or whether it's just us. And so it's always just felt like that, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, Holly, we've talked about this where it's always like sometimes when we're traveling and our schedules are busy and our work schedules are busy, it'll always be like, oh, we got to record, and then we'll get all stressed out like figuring a time to record, and then we record, and afterwards we're like, oh man, that was nice. We just got
Yeah.
to take an hour to just talk
Yeah.
about Star Wars. That was great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel like like that's why I've never been like, oh, maybe we should just pack it in with Full of Sith, because it's never felt like this terrible obligation. It's always just felt like it's felt like a really nice time to like make myself slow down and just do the thing I love with people I love to just chat Star Wars, which is, sometimes when you're working on stuff that is Star Wars related, or you're working on, I write so many Star Wars cards or work on other stuff, or I'm writing BattleTech books or whatever, and you work on it for money. Um, it can feel like a grind, but this has never felt like that grind. This has always felt like just we're hanging out talking Star Wars, and I don't always get that. Um,
Well, I mean, I could see that from that perspective, but I also see it from the perspective, and this is where I want to give you guys your accolades because yeah, it's a huge labor of love. And yes, when you get to just sit down and just talk Star Wars with just like-minded people or even unlike-minded people and just having a good conversation about it, that kind of recharges you for everything else in your life, but for all the things that the two of you do. And I'm not blowing smoke and I'm not trying to make you both look good because you do that on your own, but to consistently, even if it's episodes of cons that we don't get, I would never get to sit in listen to those panels. So I get to sit, you guys send that to me, I get to listen to that. We could do a little bit better with the audience questions. I'll throw that out there as a live when
I'm
some maybe
Like
trying to
some
read 'em.
capturing them.
yeah, because it's really difficult. Like I try to blow them up so you can hear them a little bit better, try to make them louder, but it's terrible audio. So that would be the only. I'm sorry, even talk about anything negative at this point, but if we could fix that, that'd be fantastic.
That's not
But
negative. That's a great piece of
back,
feedback.
yeah, but back to just all that you guys do, and you have that outlet, and you still get to do that, and you still love it, and it recharges you. But the fact that you just do it, and you give everybody, and I hear from lots of listeners all the time that you're just putting out a product every week, and it's people enjoy listening, and it's not with all the negative things in the world. It's not a negative place, and that's why I always still feel so good when I sit down and listen to it. Get a Holly laugh. I get a Bryan story. Hear some nerdy Star Wars stuff. Thank you guys for keeping it up and doing what you do. I'm going to continue to keep producing it as long as you guys want to do it because I get a lot of joy out of hearing you guys. I really do.
You're such an angel, Mike.
I am. I'm an archangel, Michael. What I do. I love you guys, and thank you for having me on this week. And then Brian's like, "Well, it's your show too. You don't have to feel like you have to ask," and that's lovely too. Thank you. That made me smile. But I'm about respect, and I'm about just you guys. You just grind it every day for the families, for your relationships, for your works, for your listeners and your fans, and the people that read your writings and all that stuff. And it's a lot. And I wasn't doing nearly as much as you guys were doing back in the day when I was doing all these things, and I felt pulled a million different ways. And it's just a testament to who you are as people. And I know the listeners appreciate it.
it's really nice to hear that from you, Mike. It's uh
I
I
always
don't know.
like to get Bryan compliments because he handles them so
Yeah. I'm trying. I'm
well.
working on it. I'm working on it. No, the show is the show because we've been doing this for so long just because I think we all like each other and we like talking about Star Wars, and I think people like listening to us talk about Star Wars. I mean, if you don't like listening to us talk about Star Wars and you're, an hour
Listening to the wrong
into listen,
show.
yeah, if you're an hour into listening to this,
You come
yeah,
to
I
the
don't know
wrong
what you're doing
spot.
here. Yeah. Um, but I don't know. When we got to 600, I can't quite believe it. Um,
It is hard to believe. Thinking back to being on the couch at the old house, and that's what, 15 years, whatever it was ago. It's hard to believe. Did I think that again, I'm going to throw around my age. Did I think at 50 that Full of Sith would still be going strong? I don't know. I don't know. We were hoping that there would be that much content to keep it going, but we also always said that even if there wasn't anything being released, we'd figure out something to talk about. You just turn on the microphone and start a conversation. Next thing you know, it's an hour later, and you're like, "Oh, that hour went real fast."
Yeah,
Right?
it does. It whizzes by. It
yeah.
What do
whizzes
you guys have coming up in the next few weeks?
So Holly and I are going to be at Dragon Con next week, so we'll be doing a show in person again together. And I know we're
He's going to
doing
do it out in the main concourse. He's going to go to the bar, or where he's going to do it.
uh I don't know. It seems to vary depending on where they have furniture available at Dragon
Yes.
Con.
It might not be hard to find like five other people with Holly and you included. Like maybe you could run your game during like one of those nights.
The bigger problem is that I would need 3 or 4 hours to do it, and
Ah, that's true.
that's the problem. But we'll find somewhere to record a show, and I know on Saturday at Dragon Con, at 11:30 a.m. if you're awake, we're doing our trailers, our trailer park panel. So we're going to be showing all kinds of weird Star Wars trailers and ads and things like that. So in the Star Wars room, uh, and I'll be doing like the Star Wars authors panel and the ILM 50th anniversary panel with Matt Wood and um, Fawn Davis and a couple of other folks. And yeah, Dragon Con's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll have some
Can't believe
cool
it's
stuff.
Dragon Con already. That was a fast year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then Holly and I are both going to be at um, FanX in Salt Lake, and we're going to be doing a live Full of Sith there. So I think this is the most amount of like live Full of Siths that Holly and I have been doing together in person in a year, maybe ever,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
which is terrific. I love seeing you in person.
Me too.
Are you going to be doing any other panels at Dragon Con, Holly?
No. Which is good because I don't know how much I will be downtown. I'm in the middle of like a big wedding dress project that I really need to get
Ah,
some um um progress on. The word progress really eluded me there. And then I'm
well, that's very boink.
also I think I have to fly out for another businessy thing, but I don't know the timing on it yet. So once Dragon Con is over, I also don't want to count on having free time to work on that project. So,
Makes
um,
sense.
you know, bu busy bee things, busy bee things. But usually what I do is I just tell people what bar I'm in, and they can come and see me if they want.
It's true. It's true. Um, so if you can believe it, it's been an hour,
Can
Just
you
like
believe?
that.
just like that.
Just like that. Well, then if it's been an hour, we'll have to do this again. But
Yes, please, because what a delight to get to chat with you, Mike.
it always is. I have a big smile on my face. I
Same.
do. I have a big smile. But how about you, Holly, tell people where they could find you?
I am on Blue Sky as Holly Fry. I'm on Instagram as Surly Girly 5. Stuff you missed in history class, still trucking along. Criminalia as well on Friday nights. I think we're still running. New episodes. I'm on the History Channel on The Unbelievable with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Um, there is probably another show coming on History Channel that I will be on. I don't know the name of it yet, but that'll
Tell me when
happen.
you know, please.
I will.
Because
Um,
that was a surprise that I wasn't. I'm glad I had the surprise, but then I also kind of was like, why didn't Holly tell me? Maybe she doesn't know that I watch History Channel like a lunatic. But I was watching that show and watching Dan Aykroyd, Dan Aykroyd, Dan Aykroyd. And I'm looking down at my phone and I hear this person talking, and I'm like, boy, that really sounds like Holly. And Anya from out in the kitchen, because this is the other house, Anya goes, that sounds like Holly. And I look up, I'm like, well, I can't say it out loud because we're on a family program, but I said HS. MS is Holly. And it was very exciting.
uh, I
It was
just
very exciting.
forget. Part of it is like we film so much and then it's a while before it comes out. But also I'm crappy at self-promotion and I feel weird about everything. So, that's part of it too.
I hear that, but I'm listen. You know, it's not a joke, but it's kind of funny. I'm very proud of you, but I'm also very proud of myself for knowing you. In that moment, I was like, look at me, look at me. I know that lady. So very, very awesome.
Thank
what
you.
about you, Brian? Where are people finding you and stuffs?
Um, yeah, no, people can find me on social media at Swankmatron and on my website at swankmatron.com. Um, doing all kinds of stuff in BattleTech. So you can find me doing stuff there. My newest collection of BattleTech fiction is out with Lone Wolf and Fox, and I'll have a new book out in November called Outfoxed, which is more Fox Patrol fiction with in
Mm.
BattleTech. And yeah, I'll just be at these cons. So the next two are going to be Dragon Con and then FanX in Salt Lake. Um, and yeah, that's where I'm at. You can always get signed copies of my stuff at Swankmatron as well if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah, I like your updated emails too. I like that. Yeah, they come out and they give us information and news about you too. I like when those come through. So what? How can they sign up for that mailing list?
You can do it on my website. So
Okay.
it's yeah, just sign up for the mailing list on my website at swankmatron.com.
Okay. So briefly, just real quick. So you can't find me anywhere because I'm hiding. We moved back in September. I just want to happily say that we found our vacation every day. We were looking for years and years and years for a little bit of a property, and we have, we live on top of a hill around and forests is around us, and we have deers and birds and foxes and raccoons and all kinds of things. So you can't find me, but even though I'm terrible at self-promotion, I will say to keep myself entertained and to keep my brain going and to also document the awesome things that I see on our security cameras every day. I started doing like a little daily TikTok, like 1 or 2 minute long videos, the best bird videos I had of the day, or the two
Did?
fawns running by. Yeah. So like the
What
two
is your
right now,
TikTok handle? I'm
the
searching for
Mike
you.
Pilot, the Mike Pilot, or hashtag Grunge Manor. But as I'm saying this, the deer and the two babies just came out of the woods. I'm looking right out the window. So yeah, so you can see some cool little videos from around the property. I think even Mozzarella, our new little dog, and Fang made a video this week too. But nothing special. I'm feeling it out. Like it was just bird videos, but now, I'm like, oh well, there's some deer here, and we have the fox, and I was making friends with crows, but now the hawk has the crows upset, so they haven't been coming eating my peanuts and grapes. So, working out through all those things, keeping myself entertained with, nature. I've always, I'm a city kid, and I've always wanted to be out here and live in nature and peace and quiet, and I really like it. So the Mike Pilot on TikTok or just hashtag Grunge Manor is I usually do that because that's what I named the property because I thought it made sense. Um, so yeah, find my things there. I think I
I'm
have like 8 followers.
I'm
So don't
Well, you have
don't
one
do it
more now
alone.
because I'm like cyber stalking your
All
birds and
right.
squirrels.
But there are some cool birds. There are some really cute things that come out. So you can find me there. You can find the show at Full of Sith. There's the Facebook page too, facebook.com/Full of Sith. I know that we get the show listed up there, and I'm just gonna finish it off, Brian. So for super producer Brian Young and for Holly Fry, this is the Mike Pilot, and the force will be with you always.
Sir, if you'll not be meeting me, I'll close down for a while.